rumors from Ethan's head.
Wow, that picture already looks like it was from a long time ago. Well, I guess I'm a bit of a Shaq hater. I might as well embrace it. I'm not the biggest fan, and I think I've stated before that I don't like the addition of Shaq on TNT because I love the work that Chris Webber does, and I don't think Shaq is that funny. And look, I almost don't want it to work out, but I think that Shaq's not going to work out for TNT in the future based on his off the studio, if you will, activities. He's had a slew of recent controversies going on, whether it be leaked sex emails or trailing people or just just various matters that have popped up and are dogging him. And I feel like with the increased amount of free time Shaq has, he will be undone by one of these off the court, off the studio controversies in his role as a TNT host.
I think that he has a good chance of making it work. Not necessarily for him, but I think it allows Chris Webber, who is easily their most talented and their best analyst. I think it allows him to do more in-game stuff and actually be a color analyst during the games. And if you have to endure a little bit of Shaq in the studio, whether he's good or not, and you allow Webber to get more airtime and essentially 2.5 hours of airtime, I think that's better for their overall production.
Well, I think this is, when Shaq seems like a no-brainer to me anyway, that this would work or that he would at least get this job, similar to when Magic Johnson got in the studio. And Magic Johnson was pretty awful at first, and it wouldn't surprise me, and remains, has his ups and downs, and it wouldn't surprise me if Shaq also had some issues, especially at the beginning. I would not want to be the audio tech on that show, keeping his volume at a level where people could hear, because the way he talks, his rhythms and stuff, they work well when you're talking about like a post-game interview when he's like keeping it real. But when he's presenting and he has to project, I'll be really curious to see if the personality that he's cultivated over all these years is going to translate into that formalized, structured studio setting.
I think a big question here too is Shaq funny, or do we just give him points because he's big? Because I don't genuinely find him funny, but other people would disagree. I'd assume, Zach, that you would violently disagree with such a sentiment.
No, I don't think he's funny at all. Like most athletes, they're funny for being an athlete, but that doesn't mean he's actually funny. I think that with him, I think he appeals to a common fan that just doesn't care. Like they just see, oh, I know that guy. Oh, look, he made everyone smile on camera. Yay for Shaq. I think that's more how his appeal is than trying to impress some basketball nerds like us.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like Louis C.K. He's not pushing the boundaries of post-game commentary. But,
he's definitely not like Louis.
But he is, I would say, someone who is going to bring a kind of... I will say this. What he says may not always be smart or on point, but it'll probably give us something to talk about. And for TNT, that's probably more valuable.
I feel like you just described me.
Important or interesting insight is just being large, recognizable, a brand that people relate to. I don't know. I think it makes sense. The big... Adam, we got someone in our chat here calling him the big non sequitur. I could see a lot of his statements coming off as sounding a lot better in his head than when he actually gets them out.